Welcome to the Padres Postgame Show on the Padres Radio Network. Coming up, we'll deliver a full recap of today's game, including highlights from the biggest moments. We'll take a trip down to the manager's office to hear from Mike Shildt. Plus, we'll bring you scores from around Major League Baseball. The Padres Postgame Show starts now on the Padres Radio Network.
Here's the pitch. Jackson swings, hits it in the air, center field, straight away and deep. Frelick is back. He's at the wall, looking up. Gonna go! 3-run homer, Jackson Merrill, his 10th of the year. And the Padres break a scoreless tie here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Jackson Merrill continues to mash. The Padres beat the Milwaukee Brewers 6-4 on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon here in downtown San Diego. Jackson Merrill with his 10th home run of the season, his 7th in the last 10 games, and that was just the start of the story here today as the Padres win a 4th in a row. They'll go for a 4-game sweep of the Brew Crew tomorrow. A lot to talk about in this game. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft at the Western Metal Building here at Petco Park. As we wrap this one up, plenty of people still here inside the loft, finishing up their beers and their mixed drinks, and everybody having a good time. Everybody's having a good time, right? All right, everybody like that Padres win? Had a good time? All right, everybody having a lot of fun here inside the Western Metal Building. Padres did a lot of good things in this ball game here tonight. 3 home runs, one by Jackson Merrill, broke a scoreless tie in the 4th inning, a 3-run home run. Ha-Sung Kim then a home run later in the inning to make it 4-0. Kyle Higashioka, a 2-run shot that came in the 7th inning. Padres had a 6-0 lead in this game. Things got a little dramatic in the 9th inning. There was a grand slam to make it 6-4. Padres had to go to Robert Suarez to shut the door, pick up the save, but you know what? You'll take it any day of the week. The Padres win a 4th in a row, and they will go for a 4-game sweep of the Brewers tomorrow. A lot to do on our post-game coverage. And by the way, I should mention the pitching today, aside from Johnny Brito in the 9th inning, really, really good. Randy Vasquez, 5 scoreless innings. He picked up his 2nd win as a Padre. So a lot to discuss. We'll get to all of it. When we come back, we got a lot to do. We'll hear from Jackson Merrill, who hit an absolute bomb to straightaway center today. Maybe the most impressive swing, I think, that Merrill's taken this year. He continues to be absolutely terrific. We'll also hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. We'll have all the radio highlights for you. Much more to do on our post-game coverage as the Padres beat the Brewers by a final score of 6-4. Our post-game show continues from the Western Metal Building here at Petco Park on the Padres Radio Network. Our postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Final score, the Padres 6 and the Brewers 4. Sam Levitt with you inside the Western Metal Building here at Petco Park. As we wrap this one up, we have a lot to do. We'll have all the radio highlights for you coming up in just a little bit. We'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. I also caught up with Jackson Merrill on the field right after the game, so we will get to all of it as we wrap things up on our post-game coverage inside the Western Metal Building here at Petco Park. And I want to give a special shout-out to three women sitting right in front of me, Mia, Kira, and Katie, who are visiting all the way from Limerick, Ireland. So give it up for our Irish friends visiting here in San Diego. Did you enjoy the baseball game? Did you have fun? Okay, had a lot of fun. That's what we like to hear. So shout out to Mia, Kira, and Katie. You now have your names out on San Diego radio here in America, okay? So hope you had a fun time at the Padres game. Padres gave Mia, Kira, and Katie a show. 3 home runs, a Padres win, and 4th win in a row as the Padres will go for a 4-game sweep tomorrow. A lot to recap from this one. Let's get to it with our game highlights.
What moments had the biggest impact on today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game recap on the Padres Radio Network.
Early on, this game was really about the starting pitching. A matchup of a couple of young right-handers in this one. It was Randy Vasquez for the Padres, and it was Carlos Rodriguez on the mound for the Brewers. Both young starting pitchers were throwing up zeros early on, but they were doing it in different ways. Randy Vasquez dealt with a ton of base runners early. He walked 2 in the first, he walked a batter and allowed a single in the second, he allowed a single in the third, and another single in the 4th inning. But when you looked at his line, there were 4 scoreless innings. Kyle Higashioka also helped out. He threw out Bryce Terang, trying to steal twice. On the other side, the Brewers' Carlos Rodriguez was sharp early on. A 1-2-3 first inning. He allowed a couple of singles in a scoreless second, but then recorded a 1-2-3 third. So that brought us to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Still a scoreless game. Donovan Solano and Jake Cronenworth hit back-to-back singles to start the inning. They were on 1st and 3rd with 1 out as Jackson Merrill dug in.
Here's the pitch. Jackson swings, hits it in the air, center field, straight away and deep. Frelick is back. He's at the wall, looking up. Gonna go! 3-run homer, Jackson Merrill, his 10th of the year. And the Padres break a scoreless tie here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Jackson Merrill's 7th home run in the last 10 games. He hit it 440 feet to dead center. To me, the most impressive swing that young man has taken in the early part of his major league career. It was an absolute blast, and it gave the Padres a 3-0 lead. Later in the inning, it was Ha-Seong Kim.
3-2 to Ha-Seong Kim. He hits it well in the air to deep left field. Yelich is back. He's going to watch. It's going to go. Number 10 for Ha-Seong Kim. 2nd of the inning. Really nice at bat. And now 4-0 Padre lead.
So the Padres hitting more home runs here at Petco Park, a 4-0 lead through 4. Vasquez worked around trouble again in the 5th inning. He stranded 2 runners on base, 5 scoreless innings for Randy Vasquez. Padres bullpen then took over in the 6th inning. Wandy Peralta pitched the scoreless frame. Yuki Matsui pitched the scoreless 7th inning. Padres still led 4-0 at the 7th inning stretch. Jacob Junis was on the mound for Milwaukee. There was a runner on base for Kyle Higashioka.
1-2 pitch, hit in the air to deep left field. Yelich is back. He's going to watch this one. Going to go! Second deck in left for Higashioka. His 6th of the year and the 3rd Padre home run of the day makes it 6-0 here in the 7th.
So the Padres had a very comfortable 6-0 lead. Adrian Morejon came in. He pitched a scoreless 8th inning. We went to the top of the 9th inning. The Padres still leading 6-0. Johnny Brito came in. Obviously not a spot where the Padres were going to go to Robert Suarez, but we'll get to that in a moment. The Brewers loaded the bases against Johnny Brito. Bryce Terang dug in, and he did this.
Here's the 1-2. Terang swings, hits it in the air to left field. Zokar was shallow, has to race back towards the corner. Still going back, and this one is gone. A grand slam for Bryce Terang. Hit it off the lower balcony of the Western Metal Building to the opposite field, and all of a sudden this is a 6-4 game with 2 outs in the top of the 9th.
All of a sudden, indeed, and all of a sudden, all the Brewers needed to get the tying runs to the plate was another base runner. So the Padres naturally went to Robert Suarez in what was now a save situation. He came on, 2 outs, nobody on. The Padres still ahead 6-4, and Suarez faced William Contreras.
Suarez ready. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Contreras slow bouncer to the left side. Charged by Machado. Goes to the glove. Fires to first. In time, and the ball game is over. Manny Machado with a stellar defensive play to end it. Contreras grounds out, and the Padres have won 4 in a row to get themselves back over 500. And tomorrow they'll go for the 4-game sweep of the Brewers here at Petco Park.
Really nice game for the Padres. They win it by a final score of 6-4. Like Jesse alluded to, the Padres wrap up the official first half of the season. We are 81 games in now, 41-40. The Padres hit 3 home runs in this game, 1 from Jackson Merrill, 1 from Ha-Sung Kim, 1 from Kyle Higashioka, and they needed each of those blasts because obviously Bryce Terang with the grand slam in the 9th inning made it a 2-run game. It got quite a bit scarier than what you wanted in that 9th inning, but luckily the Padres have a guy named Robert Suarez who came in and shut the door, picked up his 19th save of the season in 20 opportunities. Randy Vasquez improves to 2-4 with the win. He had an interesting outing, and we'll get more into it, but dealt with a lot of base runners. He walked 3, allowed 5 hits, but you know what? 5 scoreless innings for Randy Vasquez. Carlos Rodriguez took the loss for Milwaukee as the Padres win a 4th in a row, and the Padres will go for a 4-game sweep of the Brewers tomorrow afternoon here at Petco Park. Let's go downstairs here at Petco Park and hear some post-game reaction.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Presented by Sinley Food. Spice up your culinary life.
Mike, how much does it feel like you're starting to get that consistency that you, offensively in particular, that you've been seeking?
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, we've had consistent stretches, and we were in one now. Expect to stay there. It's been great at bats. We're doing it with a lot of different ways. Cleared the long ball. Jackson, man, what a great stroke. Loud noise. My ball was hit very well. Kimmy follows it up. Higgy insurance, but good at bats throughout the whole lineup. So hitting balls all over the ballpark, just good baseball, coupled with, we got good starting pitching from Randy. That's really the recipe.
Kind of self-evident, but how important will that be? Besides Waldron, hasn't exactly been happening the last couple times through.
It's big. I mean, I think, first time in the last 6 starts, we've gotten 5 innings. Outside of Waldy getting 7 2 days ago. So it was big for us. Randy threw the ball well. Again, higher pitch count. He navigated, I think, like a 21 pitch between 2 guys, in a third maybe. But came back out and got his guys and was able to finish off, get the ball to center field to make sure he could get off the field and grab that win. Did a nice job for us.
Jackson was obviously a very highly thought of prospect, but was there a moment when you realized he had that kind of power that he showed today, that he could tap into what he's been able to do the last 10 games?
It doesn't surprise me. When you have an efficient swing, you grow into your power. And one of the things I first evaluated or saw with Jackson was a guy that had a really good swing and an idea how to use it, which can be rare, period, but also rare at a younger age. And so when you have that, I just saw a guy, and that was my first takeaway, and I didn't have a ton of experience with him at lower levels, just more spring training and big league camp, previous to this year. So as far as relative to the power, if a guy makes consistent contact and has a feel for a swing, he's going to develop into some power.
What does it say about him then that he has developed into this power and he doesn't seem to have gotten off his approach in the rest of the game?
Impressive. It really is. It's very, very impressive. I've seen the game for a while now, and when guys start to display and to get a feel for that power, there tends to be a feel for trying to do too much. What I love about it is he's hitting balls at dead center and driving balls that part of the ballpark that are also getting out of the park, which tells me he's just trying to stay on the ball, and he's been able to pull some breaking balls. So it's just a tremendous approach and staying with it.
Against this team, how important was it to limit the run game, and how big was what Higashioka did?
Good point. Clearly an aggressive club looking to run. Higgy deserves a lot of credit. I also want to make sure that Randy gets some credit. Earlier in the year, he had to tighten some things up in some early games that he pitched against some other clubs. Got exploited, cost us, and to his credit, and then went back to AAA, and that group's credit. He cleaned some things up to where he was being able to get a little bit more efficient various times, give our catchers a chance, and then, back to Higgy, just tremendous job of being able to get rid of it, and be accurate. And, the guys on the other side making good tags.
What can you tell us about Tatis and his availability for tomorrow?
Nothing yet. I wish I had something for you. Literally just got off, enjoyed the win. We'll evaluate here shortly, and, I can't give you a great answer as to his availability for tomorrow yet.
Quite a few guys out, and not the first time that you've been able to just find contributions elsewhere. That would seem, I just wondered how you feel about that being kind of like the marker of the kind of team that you thought you had that was this deep, because every team says that, but not every team has that.
Yeah, that's fair. I think there's one real trait that has been on display, and that's a team that is dedicated to competition from top to bottom. Starters, bullpen, regulars, bench guys, everybody's showing up, getting ready to go compete. A great example of that yesterday, Campy was in the lineup, got scratched late. Higgy shows up and Colton played a really, really good ball game. Guys go down, guys are ready to compete. So when you have the ability for a group of guys that looks to compete every day, be consistent with what that looks like, and be ready, and then the other part is embrace it. And when they get their time, be ready to go. It's a tremendous trait, and it's a special group.
Skip, 81 games in, mathematical halfway point of the year. What would be your State of the Padres address here, kind of assessing the team?
I'd like to usually have a little bit more thought to put behind that, but clearly I've got a pulse in our club. I'm very pleased overall. I'm extremely pleased. Would we always like it to be better? Of course, we'd always like it to be better. If you think about this being a fairly new group, me being new to the managing spot, having some relationships and been here a couple of years in other roles, a newer staff, a turnover in the roster, a lot of guys looking to break into the big leagues or establish themselves as an everyday big leaguer, coupled with a bunch of guys that clearly are established big leaguers. And then get back to Ace's question, being able to get the group together and get a group that is going to prepare and compete consistently. That's not a small thing to have happen, and it has happened quickly, and we've seen the rewards from it really from early in the season. There's one thing that I talk about fairly frequently is being better as the game series and the season goes, and we do that, then we can appreciate where we're at. We've also had to navigate, like most people in the league, so I'm not sitting here making an excuse, but the reality is we've had some real key players, and performers not be available for us, and this, we've scratched and clawed and figured out a way to compete, and I just like the way we continue to get together and improve what we're doing in all our areas, and it's been really positive overall.
That was Padres manager Mike Shildt after this 6-4 win for the Padres over the Milwaukee Brewers. Sam Levitt back with you inside the loft at the Western Metal Building here at Petco Park. The Padres at the halfway point of 2024. They sit 41-40 through all the ups and downs of the first half. They do in the first half, 81 games in, a game above 500, and playing some really good baseball to wrap up this half as they've now won 4 in a row. The home runs continue to come here at home, and we'll continue to discuss this game, break it all down as we go along here on our post-game coverage. We still have a lot to do. When we come back, you'll hear from Jackson Merrill. I went one-on-one with Jackson on the field right after the ball game here today, so you'll hear from Jackson Merrill. When we come back, Jackson had the big 3-run home run to give the Padres a 3-0 lead in the 4th inning, his 7th home run in the last 10 games, plus a little bit later. Full look at the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll work your phone calls in as well as we move along here. The Padres win it 6-4, a 4th in a row. They'll go for a sweep of the Brewers tomorrow. More post-game coverage after this. Jackson, let's start. Our post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Final score, the Padres 6 and the Brewers 4 as the Padres win a third in a row against the Brew Crew. They'll go for a series sweep tomorrow and a fourth in a row between the end of the road trip in Philadelphia. The first 3 games of this homestand, the Padres had 3 home runs in this game, one by Jackson Merrill, one by Ha-Seong Kim, and one by Kyle Higashioka, and they would need each and every one because the Brewers scored 4 runs on the Bryce Terang grand slam in the top of the 9th inning. Padres had to go to Robert Suarez to finish up the game in that 9th inning. Really no big deal. Padres hang on for a 6-4 win. Sam Levitt with you inside the Western Metal Building here at Petco Park. The Western Metal Building is cleared out. Petco Park has cleared out. I'll tell you, when I came in here post-game, it was a party in here. There were tons of people still here having beers and finishing things up, getting ready to go. We had our new friends from Ireland visiting. They were sitting here, and we started talking, and they were like, "We're from Ireland." And I said, "Well, let me give you a shout-out." So we had a lot of fun in the first couple of segments of our post-game coverage. Another guy who continues to have a lot of fun for the Padres is this 21-year-old rookie, Jackson Merrill, who continues to be just terrific. Here today, Jackson Merrill had 3 hits, including a 3-run home run in the 4th inning to make it a 3-0 game. He crushed it to dead center, 440 feet. Merrill's 10th home run of the year, his 7th in the last 10 games. It has been remarkable to watch Jackson not just continue to hit the ball well, he's done that really all year at 20 and then 21 years old, and not just play a great center field despite never playing there before spring training in his life, but now to see in his rookie campaign, in the first half of his rookie campaign, to see this power surge is really something. Let me read you Jackson Merrill's numbers right now. Through 77 games, he's batting .290, 10 home runs, 35 RBIs, and his OPS is up to 771 on the year. Any way you slice it, I mean, the first half of Jackson Merrill's season has been terrific. .290. And we've talked about it at length, all the different factors for him entering this season, the limited experience at the upper levels of the minor leagues, a brand new position, being handed a center field job out of spring training at 20 years old. I mean, it has just been so much fun to watch what Jackson does and the energy he brings to this team and to this clubhouse. I caught up with Jackson Merrill on the field right after the game. Jackson, let's start with the home run. 440 feet to straightaway center. How did you get all of that pitch?
I just tried to hit the ball. I told you. That's all I try to do is just trying to put the barrel on the ball, try to help the team any way possible, and it just happened to go 440. I wasn't trying to go dead center 440, but that's just how it went.
Where does that rank in the farthest home runs you've hit in your career?
I don't even know, dude. I don't look at distances. It counts the same. If it goes over the fence, it goes over the fence,
7 home runs in your last 10 games. Is there anything you can point to that's leading to this surge in power?
Confidence and getting settled and getting adjusted, just finding new adjustments every day. I'm able to adjust every AB, mid-AB, try and make an adjustment, win the AB. That's all I care about. Go one AB at a time and try and win them all.
This team is banged up right now. You were missing a couple of your stars today in the lineup. Can you take me inside the mentality of this team as you try to battle through these injuries?
We hate it. We hate seeing the guys down. We hate seeing Bogey, Toddy, Pro. We hate seeing all of them down, Campy. But, I said to myself last night, I said, I got to step up, Don't try and do too much, but step up. We're losing a couple of guys due to injury, but that doesn't mean we can't play as hard as we possibly can. We got a great group of guys in here no matter who's on the field. So just step up and be yourself and play as hard as you can. And the outcome at the end of the day is the outcome at the end of the day.
Jackson, appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Sammy. Thank you.
That was Jackson Merrill right after the game. You got to love it, right? What a confident young man at 21 years old. And the big home run here today made it a 3-0 game. The Padres got another from Kim, another later in the game from Kyle Higashioka as they go on to win it 6-4. The final score of this game, to be honest with you, a little bit deceiving in the sense of the bullpen for the Padres was really good. And the pitching today for the Padres was really good aside from just one inning and really one guy in the mound. So let's talk a little bit more about the bullpen as we tell you about our relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher was able to come in and slam the door shut? It's time for the relief pitcher of the game in support of the Jacobs and Cushman San Diego Food Bank, providing food assistance to local children, families, and seniors in need. To get help or give help, visit SanDiegoFoodBank.org.
Our relief pitcher of the game here today, you could go a number of different ways with this because Wandy Peralta, scoreless 6th inning. Yuki Matsui, scoreless 7th inning. Adrian Morejon, scoreless 8th inning. Robert Suarez had to come in that 9th inning and only had to throw 3 pitches to get 1 out and get a save. So what do we go with here? I mean, look, I don't want to take anything away from Peralta, Matsui, Morejon, but it was a 4-0 game when Peralta and Matsui were in. It was a 6-0 game when Morejon was in. I mean, out of all these guys, Robert Suarez was facing the most pressure for sure, right? I mean, at that point, it's a 2-run game. He has to face William Contreras, Christian Yelich looming on deck. If he gets to the plate, he's the tying run. So for that reason, I think we got to give it to Robert Suarez for shutting the door on this thing, right? I mean, that was not an easy spot. It really wasn't. I mean, think about it this way. It's a 6-0 game. Brito comes in. Robert Suarez at that point is probably assuming he's not entering this game, but then Brito gets in trouble. The grand slam to Terang, and all of a sudden, Robert Suarez has to get loose again and get in this game, and he has to face Contreras with Yelich on deck in a 2-run game all of a sudden. So, look, Robert did what he's done all year. That was shut the door. So for that reason, Robert Suarez, our relief pitcher of the game. When we come back on our post-game coverage, we have a lot to do. We'll have a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, cycle through more of our daily awards. If you want to get involved, you can do that in a number of different ways. Phone number is 833-288-0973. Again, the phone number, 833-288-0973. If you want to call in, let me know. What'd you think about this game? What do you think about how the Padres are playing during this 4-game win streak? How would you assess the first half of the season? We are 81 games in. The Padres are 41-40. You heard Mike Shildt basically ask that after the game, his state of the Padres through 81 games. So what is your state of the Padres now that we are officially halfway through the 2024 campaign? You can do that on the phones. You can also find me on social media if you would rather go that way. Tweet at me at Sammy Lev, SAMMYLEV. Instagram DM's open as well, Sammy Lev there too. And you can DM me there. Let me know what you think about the Padres right now, 81 games in. And if you want to comment on the video side of things as well, you can do that. We will get to your tweets, your DMs, your comments, your phone calls when we come back. Again, the final score, Padres 6, Brewers 4. More post-game coverage after this. Our postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we wrap this one up. Padres beat the Milwaukee Brewers by a final score of 6-4. The Padres have won 4 consecutive games. They continue to hit the long ball here in downtown San Diego. We'll talk more about that in just a moment as the sun is setting, or at least beginning to set. Here in America's finest city. The sun is actually, this is kind of weird because we so rarely play a 4:15 p.m. first pitch game here at Petco Park. So right now I'm experiencing something in the Western Metal Building. Not that I think anybody really cares about this, but it just stands out to me because I'm sitting here. The sun is setting, and the sun is hitting some of the metal railings, I think it is, here at the ballpark. And it's hitting the metal railing, and then it's coming right into my face, the light. So I'm kind of having to squint a little bit. I might have to put my sunglasses on. I think that I left them over by the press box. Might have to get my sunglasses. I'm not used to this. What time is it? This. See it now. I can't even see the time on my computer. This 7 p.m. hour post game coverage. All right. Anyway, not that anybody cares about that, but. We'll continue talking about this game. I'll tell you what, it was a beautiful afternoon here at Petco Park. The weather this weekend has been tremendous and a great crowd again, 39,658 in the building. Beautiful afternoon and a really fun and really nice Padres win as they beat the Brew Crew. Let's tell you more about this win as we tell you about our player of the game.
Which player had the biggest impact on today's game? Let's find out who is today's player of the game. Presented by Valley View Casino and Hotel. Catch every game at Paddy's and Pints. Plus, enjoy $4 beer every Thursday. Visit valleyviewcasino.com today.
Here's the pitch. Jackson swings, hits it in the air, center field, straight away and deep. Frelick is back. He's at the wall, looking up. Gonna go! 3-run homer, Jackson Merrill, his 10th of the year. And the Padres break a scoreless tie here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
No doubt about it. Jackson Merrill, 3 hits today, the home run to break the scoreless tie, 3-run shot. Like Jesse said, his 10th of the year, his 7th in the last 10 games. No doubt here today, Jackson Merrill, our player of the game. The Padres hit 3 more home runs today here at Petco Park. Merrill, Kim, Higashioka with the 3. The Padres now, in their last 10 home games, have hit 25 home runs. So the Padres are averaging 2.5 home runs per game in this ballpark in their last 10. And for all the struggles for the Padres at home in the first 2 months of the season and even going back to last season, the Padres are now 8-2 in their last 10 home games. And don't just skip over that. That's really important. Really important. We've talked about it for a long time, and we talked about it a lot last year. The Padres needing to play better at home. And a big part of it has been the home run ball. They're hitting tons of homers here at home, but if that's the way you got to do it, so be it. But the Padres have won 8 out of their last 10 here at home. So that's a really good sign, I think. A really good sign, because that has been a problem going back to last year. Playing well at home, winning here at home, slugging here at home. And all of a sudden, it is not a problem for this team in this ballpark. So that's a keep an eye on that. That's a big deal to me that they are starting to play significantly better in this ballpark. Again, 8-2 in their last 10 home games, and they're hitting home runs like they're going out of style. I mean, it's just remarkable right now, especially in this ballpark. 3 today. Yesterday they had 2 of them, one by Arise, one by Cronenworth. On Thursday night they hit 3 of them, one by Manny, one by Merrill, and then one by Tatis. They hit 4 on Thursday. So one by Manny, one by Merrill, one by Tatis, and one by Cronenworth. So in this series alone, 4 home runs Thursday, 2 last night, and 3 here today. So 4 plus 2 plus 3 is 9. 9 home runs for the Padres in the first 3 games of this series. Really, really impressive and obviously a big part of these 3 wins against the Brewers. Let's take a wider look at the major leagues, take you through the out-of-town scoreboard.
Let's take a trip around the Bigs and tell you about the scores you need to know in our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Meat, where great taste meets integrity.
We have a couple of games going on right now. Everything else has gone final. So the game's going on right now. Rockies beating the Nationals 4-3 in Colorado in the 6th inning. Dodgers ahead of the Angels 1-0 in LA at Dodger Stadium in the 3rd. Everything else is done. Cubs beat the Mets 8-1 at Wrigley Field. Cubs scoring 5 runs against Tylor Megill in the 1st inning in that game. They did not look back. White Sox beat the Tigers in Detroit 5-1. Cardinals beat the Giants 9-4 in St. Louis. Alec Burleson, a couple of home runs in that game for the Cards. Phillies beat the Diamondbacks 12-1 in Philadelphia. Bryce Harper, another home run in that game for the Phillies. Rangers blanked the Royals 6-0 in Arlington. Wyatt Langford, the rookie, a grand slam in that game. His first career grand slam as the Rangers win it 6-0. Pirates beat the Rays 4-3 in Pittsburgh. O'Neal Cruz hit one into the Allegheny. How about that? 4-3 Pirates beat the Rays as Cruz goes deep. Twins beat the A's 10-2 in Oakland. Manuel Margot, former Padre, 3-run home run in that game for the Twins. Astros beat the Orioles 5-1 in Houston. Chas McCormick, couple of home runs in that game for the Astros. Red Sox beat the Reds 4-3 in Cincinnati. Mariners beat the Marlins 9-0 in Miami. Guardians beat the Blue Jays in Cleveland 6-3. Jose Ramirez, a 2-run home run in that game for the Guards. Yankees beat the Braves 8-3 in New York. And that's a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Saturday. When we come back on the Padres Radio Network, we'll have our play of the game. We'll also talk a little bit more about what the player who provided our play of the game did today, because I think it's worth talking about. I'm not going to spoil it for you. And we'll also continue to get you involved. Again, if you want to tweet at me, Instagram, DM me, you can do that at Sammy Lev, SAMMYLEV. If you want to call in, 833-288-0973, the phone number to call if you want to get involved. Again, if you have any thoughts about this game, the Padres' 4-game winning streak, or first half of the season, 81 games in now, Padres are 41-40. So they do officially end the first half above 500, just above 500. Padres win it 6-4 against the Brewers. Our post-game show continues after this. Our postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network as the Padres win it by a final score of 6-4 against the Milwaukee Brewers. Padres will go for a 4-game sweep of the Brewers tomorrow. We'll have a preview of that game coming up in just a little bit. Again, Sam Levitt with you inside the Western Metal Building here at Petco Park. By the way, if the Padres were to win tomorrow, and we're a long way from that, but if they were to win tomorrow, they would win a 5th straight game for the first time this season. So the Padres will go for a sweep of the Brewers tomorrow and also their first 5-game win streak of the year tomorrow. They've now won 4 in a row on 2 separate occasions, and we'll talk plenty more about that game a little bit later. And also we'll preview it plenty on the pregame coverage tomorrow. Let's hear tonight's play of the game.
What was the crucial play that determined who came out on top? This is today's Play of the Game, presented by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
1-2 pitch, hit in the air to deep left field. Yelich is back. He's going to watch this one. Going to go! Second deck in left for Higashioka. His 6th of the year and a 3rd Padre home run of the day makes it 6-0 here in the 7th.
Kyle Higashioka, our play of the game, the 2-run home run in the 7th inning. And at the time, it seemed like that was just some padding, right? Some icing on the cake. But look, that ended up being a big, big swing in this game, considering it was 6-0 after the home run. Went from 4-0 to 6-0 on the swing from Higgy. And the Padres needed those 2 runs because the Brewers got 4 in the top of the 9th inning, the grand slam by Terang. So when you want to talk about play of the game, that home run by Higashioka ended up being absolutely critical in this ball game. And Higgy continues to swing a good bat. His 6th home run made it 6-0. Padres go on to win it by a final score of 6-4. I do want to take a moment just to talk about Kyle Higashioka in this game because it should not get overlooked. And we're going to touch on the pitching here before we go. Kyle Higashioka played a really big role in this game. Not just the home run, but getting Randy Vasquez, or I should really say helping get Randy Vasquez through 5 scoreless innings in this one. And that wasn't only by being a veteran catcher and working with Vasquez as he dealt with a ton of base runners through 5 innings. Randy threw a lot of pitches through 5 innings. Vasquez threw 98 through 5. He was dealing with base runners. He walked 3. He allowed some hits. None of the innings for Randy were super, super easy. He did not have a 1-2-3 inning in this game here today. So look, some of that, you always, tip your cap, give a little credit to the catcher, right? Whenever a pitching staff does well. But it was beyond that here today. Kyle Higashioka threw out Bryce Terang trying to steal in the 1st inning and then did it again in the 3rd. You look at when he threw Terang out and how that played a role in Vasquez getting through 5 scoreless innings. Terang is thrown out in the 1st after a leadoff walk. So, right away, that leadoff walk is erased. Vasquez is able to put together a scoreless inning. In the 3rd, Terang hits a 1-out single, and then with William Contreras at the plate and Christian Yelich behind him, Terang tries to steal second again, and Higgy throws him out. I mean, let's live in an alternate world where Terang steals second there. Well, that's a great RBI opportunity for the two or three most dangerous hitters in the lineup for the Brewers. You've got Contreras there, Yelich after him, Adames after him. That's a big-time throw from Kyle Higashioka in both cases to get Terang at second base. It's not just throwing out the runner. It's the part of the order that's up there with Contreras and Yelich and Adames. I mean, really, 2 very big throws in this game from Kyle Higashioka. So Higashioka had an awesome game. He really did. Threw out 2 guys until the 9th inning, was catching a shutout, and hit a home run. And what's interesting for Kyle now is with Luis Campusano on the IL as of today. If you missed it, Luis Campusano going on the IL with left thumb soreness. Higgy's going to get an opportunity, I would assume, to play almost every day right now. And he's increased his playing time lately. I think a lot of credit for that goes to him because he's hit the ball a lot better. He's hit for power. But he's going to get an opportunity to play mostly every day. Now, tomorrow, no guarantee of this, but tomorrow I'd expect Brett Sullivan's going to catch. Tomorrow, considering Higgy has caught the last 2 days, and it's not, a classic night game time-wise, but it's late enough where you would try, I would imagine, to give Higgy the day off tomorrow. So I'd imagine, if I were a betting man, that Brett Sullivan's going to play tomorrow. But Higgy has a really nice opportunity here to play and continue to do what he's done, which is do really nice things behind the plate and also do good things at the plate offensively. So really nice game for Kyle Higashioka. I thought, we had to mention that. And look, a nice game for a lot of guys. Ha-Sung Kim, the 2 hits with the home run. He scored 2 runs in this game, and obviously Merrill 3 hits and the home run in this game as well. Before we preview tomorrow, let's quickly pause for Station ID on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park on our post-game coverage. Looking ahead to tomorrow. 1:10 p.m. first pitch tomorrow as the Padres will go for a 5th consecutive win and a 4-game sweep of the Brewers. Our pitching matchup tomorrow, right-hander Michael King on the mound for San Diego. Right-hander Tobias Myers on the mound for Milwaukee. Again, first pitch tomorrow at 1:10, and our pregame coverage begins at 12:10 from right here inside Petco Park. As always, if you missed any of our post-game coverage, you can go back and listen to any or all of it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast with Sam Levitt. You can find it on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcast. You can also go on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Find us that way. Go back and watch any portion of our pre- or post-game coverage every single day. Taking a look at the final totals here today. For the Padres, 6 runs, 10 hits, no errors. They left on 3. For the Brewers, 4 runs, 10 hits, no errors. They left on 7. Winning pitcher in this game, Randy Vasquez, who improves to 2-4. He went 5 scoreless innings in this one. And the losing pitcher, Carlos Rodriguez, who drops to 0-3. Time of game, 2 hours and 40 minutes. And the crowd at Petco Park on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon, 39,658. Once again, first pitch tomorrow at 1:10. Pregame coverage begins at 12:10. Until then, for our great studio coordinator, Frank Marchese, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long from Petco Park. Again, the final score, the San Diego Padres 6 and the Milwaukee Brewers 4. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Padres Radio Network. Have a great night, everybody.